Happy Songkran, everyone, and welcome to a special Thaiger episode. Now, Songkran, as we know it, it's the Thai New Year celebration. And what better day would it be than to just spread love and Thai culture and knowledge on this day? Now, today I have with me two lovely friends that will share the culture and knowledge sharing with me, and that is Hassan and Annie. Hi, Hassan and Annie.
Hi.
So, for those of you who might not know, Hassan and Annie have a YouTube channel called Cooking Nomads, and their channel is all about a Thai and an American couple who goes on journeys in their RV home, and then they share a lot of experiences about the Thai culture to the people that they meet along their RV journey. Hassan and Annie, first of all, I need to ask you, how did the name Cooking Nomads come about?
Yeah, Cooking Nomads for us, Annie loves cooking, so she cooks, maybe 8 or 9 hours a day sometimes, and she's always looking to make things absolutely perfect. And so it started with her making recipes at home. And when we moved from Thailand to North Carolina, it was a really big part of life that she wanted to keep with her is her Thai culture and bring that to the US.
And then nomads has come from because we live in the RV, right? We keep moving around, traveling. So I think this is a perfect word for it.
What made you both want to live the RV lifestyle?
For me and for Annie, we were so excited to see all the beauty that America has and meet all the people here and all the different cultures and everything like that across the different regions. Like in Thailand, you have the north and you have Chiang Mai, and in the south, you have all these different flavors. And so I was really interested to have Annie experience that. And I also missed being in the US and having that opportunity. And so we kind of decided that an RV might be a good way to get that going.
To your RV and spreading the Thai culture in the US, what does it mean for you to spread Thai culture in the US? What do you do specifically?
Normally I do through food, like cooking. So that is like my love language when I share food with people. And I'm excited every time when they're I meet the people, for example, in Texas, is not, this area specific that we stay.
Pretty secluded here.
Yeah. Then some people didn't know, they thought I'm from Taiwan, like that,
Right.
And they're not rude or anything. I can't understand. They never leave the country or never go in Asia before, right? And then, yeah, so it's interesting to let them try my food. And then when they hey, how you cook it? And then we exchange it. Like they teach me how to cook steak. I teach them how to cook fried rice, for example. That is the way I'm sharing my culture. Yeah.
And is there a go-to food that every time you give it to someone, they always go, that was chef's kiss, that was perfect?
That is tom kha gai.
Tom kha gai, wow. Okay, that was quite interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Are the ingredients hard to find in the States?
It's pretty difficult, but we have a storage. So I normally the key ingredient like coconut milk, I can buy it, stock it. And then the herbs, for example, I had to learn on YouTube how to
store them properly.
Then to keep it for months, I keep in the freezer.
Yeah, the freezer, lemongrass, and Annie's done a really good job of. Part of it is that that's one of the reasons why we started doing the YouTube channel and have a website is because Annie can share the recipes there for people. Annie can show people the tricks and tips that she's found. And then also she's really specific about getting the correct and right ingredients into the dishes and bringing the flavor here.
Flavor. So I'm trying my best to make it the way that I eat that when my mom cooked for me like that. Yeah.
Right. So authentic mom kind of homemade recipes.
Yeah.
I've been watching your YouTube channel, actually, Cooking Nomads, and I realized that a lot of your content is for the Thai audience. And my question to maybe Hassan, how do you support Annie in this endeavor of hers?
There's content that you could create, but for me, it's also just about documenting our journey, what it looks like. What happens when the tire pops on the RV? How do we fix? What happens when ants, come into the room? Or how do we find places that are good to stay at? Or, what is it like when there's a Texas barbecue, right? What does that look like for us? And how do people interact with us? And what are we eating there? And so the way that I really try to support Annie is both just being outgoing and that we always just make those connections, and then also providing space and time for her to capture those moments. And whether that means me holding the camera or her holding the camera or us setting something up, that we try our best not to make the content that we produce take away from the experience or kind of stop people in their tracks. So it's really about making it more fluid and making it a little bit easier, facilitating those situations. So
Great answer. I just wanted to add that you're a great cameraman, that's for sure. I love all the shots that you make. Those are beautiful. I do have a question because it is Songkran. So how are you planning to share Songkran culture with the people there?
Yes. Actually, we already talked with the neighbor. They were exciting for the New Year's, like Thai New Year's. So I planned to maybe give them some like mango sticky rice that I planned to do, and then knock on their door. I mean, like not their house, but they RV door, and then
Yes.
like share some sweet, some dessert stuff. And yeah, maybe talk about like actually it's a special day for Thailand. I don't know that they're into like the water splash like
yeah, we didn't know if people would like being splashed with water randomly, but
hold gun in Texas and shoot them there. I don't know.
Right. And I have one last question for the both of you, actually. What is the best thing about living the RV life?
so during this time, especially with COVID, we've had all this seclusion, we've had a lot of uncertainty, and there's benefits just from an RV lifestyle in particular, like just the chance to kind of move, to see new things. Also, I think as a couple, it's made us interact, in healthier ways, just because there's some moments where we have to be a really good team, like if we're on the side of the road or if we're navigating or something like that. But from a standpoint of COVID, right now I'm looking out my window and there's a pool and a hot tub, at this park, and there's kind of a track that goes around that you can walk. And so in the mornings I like to walk, and a lot of other people get out and walk, and so you'll have quick conversations with people, and you'll be able to chat in a way that when we were living in apartments in the city or our condo, it just there's not as much random interactions or connection that happens, just because people are kind of in the groove of what they're doing. And I think people that are in RVs, they're either on vacation or they might live this way, but whichever way it is, they're interested in kind of understanding what other people are doing too and meeting other people. So it's been one really big plus for me.
Seeing new places. I'm exciting every place we go. Yeah, it's all about the experience that I'm going to have. I'm very exciting. I wouldn't have it if we just stay in one place in one house. But it's kind of like our house moving around. Like, some people is called like a snowbird or something, like, right? So you move everywhere, the weather's good, and whatever you decide, like it's good. It's like a life that you can decide.
And
Right.
next stop for us is going to be Grand Canyon.
Nice. That's a very beautiful place. Actually, I had that down on my list as well. Like, where do you guys plan to go next? You know what I like about the RV life, and I think this is like an advantage, how people, when they have to travel by plane, they have to pack a big suitcase. You don't have to pack anything. You just drive with your whole entire house with you. Like, no packing, no unpacking. Beautiful. Yeah. Do you guys have any last words you want to say to the audience, or anything that I haven't asked? You can probably say it here.
So I think for me, one thing is that's important to kind of call out is I think it's really special what Annie has done, because with all the different challenges that happen with her moving to the US and all the unexpected things, it was just really amazing to see how she adapted, and the way that even with every single challenge that was happening with COVID or with different things, we've been through ice storms, we've been through tornadoes, we've been through all sorts of things, and this different lifestyle, to see how she adapted. And so I think it's also really fantastic to see how people get in touch with the Thai culture and how they respond to the way that Annie brings it to them. And so that's something that I think is really special and has also been a really nice piece of what we've experienced.
That's great.
Maybe one more thing to add is about actually before we start the trip, they are very they have a bad news about racism about like Asian
Mm,
cross to Asian. So the his parents also a little bit worried, like, you go into like remote place or you go some places they like, we don't know, right? So it's scary when we hear it all from the news. But then my experience is luckily I didn't see anything like that and I didn't meet anyone like that.
mm.
But yeah, I just want to make sure I represent that people that never meet Asian like me before, like, that I'm friendly, I'm nice, I'm just like, I'm what do you mean? I'm just human, right? It's like just wanna that's what I'm saying, like culture, food, bring people smile.
I mean, that's the most important part is that Annie was able to move around all these places and show who she was, and people accepted her, and people treated her
Yeah,
in
just
a good
what
way.
I don't want it to people when they never meet or talk with Asian, they think like in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Okay, so all right, so I think
Sorry.
what Annie maybe what I think what Annie's trying to say is that um, it's important for you to as you meet people to set up a precedent of how good Asian people are, how good people are from other countries, and to have people connect Thailand with that experience, so that they don't have a bad thought in their mind about people from those countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that.
That's wonderful. And I'm really happy that Annie, you're representing the Thai people because I have tasted some of your cooking before and it's amazing. So you're doing Thai people very proud. So this is good. Thank you so much, Annie and Hassan, for joining me in this episode.
Okay, thanks, Natty. Really appreciate it.
Now, I'm going to continue following you on Cooking Nomads for sure. But until then, do take care. And viewers, if you like this episode, do give us a like, share, and just follow for more episodes like this. Have a great Songkran ahead. สวัสดีค่ะ